In this next segment, we're going to talk about the A part of MAD modifier rules. So remember, there are 3 rules under complement that teach us how to appropriately use modifiers. Right now, we're going to talk about adjectives and adverbs and how to correctly use them in our sentence. Well, first of all, we have to understand the difference between an adjective and an adverb. So first of all, adjectives, we need to understand what exactly adjectives can modify. Adjectives can modify 2 things. They can modify nouns and they can modify pronouns. So in this case, I bought a blue book. My adjective is the word blue. Blue is modifying my noun book. So now let's talk about adverbs. So I love adverbs. Adverbs are cool words. Why are they so cool? Because adverbs can modify more things than adjectives. Remember, adjectives modify 2 things. Adverbs are the only words that can modify other adverbs, adjectives, and verbs. They just modify more things. So let's look at this sentence and try to identify. Sometimes people get confused because they go, do I have multiple adjectives in here? Well, the reality is, if you've got a word modifying another adjective, it's going to be an adverb. So here again, I bought a very blue book. Remember, blue is my adjective, modifying book. And in this case, very is my adverb. And very, I know it's an adverb because it's modifying the word blue. Now, there's another rule related to adjectives and adverbs, and it deals with hyphens. Sometimes we can use a hyphen to create a special type of modifier known as a hyphenated compound adjective. And I want to tell you what a hyphenated compound adjective looks like. Okay, this is a very common sentence that we see in business writing. The small business owner attended the conference. You might look at this and go, that sentence looks great. We've got an owner of a small business who went to the conference. But actually, what this sentence is telling you is that you have a little tiny business owner who attended a conference. And the reason that the sentence says that is because currently I have the word owner and it's being modified by the word business, which is being, and owner is also being modified by the word small. Now, in fact, if I were trying to say that I had a little business owner who was attending the conference, I would need to put in a comma right here. If I were to put in a comma, that would tell me that I'm dealing with 2 adjectives, and that those adjectives are both, in fact, modifying this noun. Now, when I link 2 adjectives, or when I have 2 adjectives before a noun with a comma, it means those adjectives are of equal strength and I can switch them. So if I really, in fact, were trying to say that there was a little business owner attending the conference, I could switch these to say the business and small owner, the business small owner attended the conference. Now it sounds weird because in fact I'm not trying to say that. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that the small business owner, meaning it's an owner of a small business, attended the conference. So how can I link these 2 adjectives together? Well, they can't do it on their own. An adjective on its own can't modify another adjective, but I can link them with a hyphen. So now, if I put in a hyphen and I make this a compound adjective, this whole entire adjective is modifying the word owner. let me give you another example to help illustrate why clarity around adjectives and hyphen use is very important to meaning. So, I'm on a business trip out on the Oregon coast, and I see a blue-gray whale. Well, is this a gray whale that's kind of blue? Or is this a blue-gray colored whale? Or is this a blue and gray whale? Well, what I saw and how I communicate that to you is going to be shaped by how I punctuate this sentence. Right now, this sentence is telling me that I have a gray whale, which is a coordinate noun, meaning I'm using two nouns to make one noun. Gray whale is its own word, and that gray whale is blue. So it's called a gray whale, but it's blue. Now here's what happens if I put in a comma. So putting in a comma tells me that, again, I have two adjectives, and they are of equal strength, and because I put in the comma, I know that they're interchangeable. So now suddenly I have a whale that is both blue and gray. It's sort of spotted. It's blue and gray. Or I could say, I saw the gray, comma, blue whale. It's a whale that's both blue and gray. Well, we have one more option, because remember, we can take two adjectives and we can link them together with a hyphen, and let's see what happens when we do that. Okay, so now when I put in a hyphen between blue and gray, remember the hyphen lets this adjective describe this adjective. So now what I'm saying is that this is a whale that's a bluish gray. So blue, because I've got the hyphen there, is describing gray, and I've created one whole hyphenated compound adjective that's describing the word whale. So when you're looking at the sentences, remember that you need to evaluate what is the word modifying. And if the word is modifying, if both of the adjectives are modifying this, you put in a comma. If the adjective is modifying this adjective, you put in a hyphen.